Hi there. Welcome to Pallet University. So for anybody who doesn't know me, because this is only my second video of 2020, my name is Gavin. I'm currently a graduate student studying paleontology, but here on YouTube, I run this channel, Pallet University, which basically tries to explain real-life science in terms of Pokemon, in a way that makes it easy to understand and also fun to learn about. So if you follow some of the bigger YouTubers in the Pokemon space, you might have seen this video from Birdkeeper Toby that he puts out basically every year, basically just reintroducing himself to the Pokemon community, because he likes to sort of refresh and restart his channel every year, which I think is a really, really neat idea. And he does it as a tag video. And while Toby himself did not tag me, he also said, if you feel like making this video, make it. This video is for people just to get to know more people in the Pokemon YouTube community, not even the Pokemon YouTube theory or science community, just the YouTube Pokemon community writ large. So I thought I'd give it a shot. So Toby listed 7 questions for whoever wants to make this type of video to answer, just to get to know the content creator a little better, as well as for the content creator to sort of recommend or steer some people towards some of their personal favorite content creators in the community. So with that, I guess let's just get started with question number 1, which is, where did you get your YouTube name? And to be honest, I don't really know. It just sort of came to me one day. Like, as a kid, I always sort of assumed that all of the Pokemon professors were like affiliated with some kind of university. Just because I was always interested in science, and whenever you would see somebody like on like a science program on Discovery Channel or something like that, like an expert talking, it would say their name and the university that they're from. And so I just always sort of thought that the Pokemon professors must be some sort of, part of some sort of university as well. So with that, I just took the original town that the original Pokemon professor was in, Pallet Town, and created Pallet University as a place for me to sort of share my in-depth knowledge of science to you guys, the viewers. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite Pokemon game? And this one's kind of tough, but also very exciting. So my favorite Pokemon game, my favorite video game in general, is a spin-off Pokemon game, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. It was the first video game that I ever bought with my own money as a kid. Everything else my parents had bought for me before that. And just a little side note, so I bought it with my own money. It was, I think, $30 at the time is what the Game Boy cartridge games used to be, Game Boy Advance rather. And I remember I took it with me. I was so excited. I brought it to school, and it fell out of my pocket on the playground, and I lost it. I still to this day, I never found it. I went and looked. It was not there. And my parents felt really sad for me because I was devastated. So my parents did end up going and buying a copy for me, and I've played that game probably, other than Skyrim, that's probably the game that I've at least started the most, not necessarily finished the most, but I've started that game so many times. And I could not be more excited that they're making a remake of it coming out in just under 2 months. We'll be having sort of my review / let's play of the demo going up later this week. As well as we will be doing an actual Let's Play of it on this channel when it does come out in March, as well as a couple other related videos coming out around that time as well. But I would say for my favorite main series game, I would say probably Pokemon Platinum. There was so much to do, and while Diamond and Pearl themselves were not the most interesting games, I think the whole concept of Team Galactic and how grandiose their ambitions were makes it seem very, very real. And makes it seem so much more that, like, you as a kid can do anything. You can save the world. You can, do whatever you want to do, no matter how old you are. And that's something that I sort of took into, account in my life. Something that I tell to students that I volunteer with every summer that are about 15, 16 years old. So not all that much older than some of the protagonists that you play in the Pokemon games, that I tell them you can go out and change the world. You can, just because you're a teenager, just because you're a kid, doesn't mean you can't make a big difference. Question number 3 is, what is your favorite evil team? And I'm going to give 2 here, because the first one's not really an evil team per se, but Team Skull. Team Skull is probably my favorite just because they're so funny. I love them. I love everything that they do. And I think pretty much most people kind of assumed correctly that they weren't going to be the actual evil team. But as far as like an advertised evil team, they're personally my favorite just because they're so silly, but also like vaguely menacing enough. They're basically Team Rocket without all of the actual crime. But like I alluded to in the last question, my favorite evil team is probably Team Galactic, just because they really probably came the closest. I would say probably Team Plasma got a little closer to achieving their goal, at least in Black and White. But they basically did their job. At least Cyrus accomplished his goal, which was to end up in a void with no one else, which was that really his goal? I don't know, maybe it just sort of happened. What happened to him at the end of Platinum? I don't remember. Like, they're just so well thought out, and they're basically Team Rocket with more aspirations for becoming bigger. Like, there's all the crime, all that edginess and coolness, but with like global domination aspirations instead of just some illegal selling and mistreating of Pokemon. Question number 4 is, what should your viewers expect from you this year? And right now we're sort of in the middle of a series of stuff about, specifically just about fossil Pokemon, since that is my area of expertise, being a paleontologist. I'm a couple episodes in. The link to the playlist will be up in the card, so you can check that out. But we'll be going through, I've got a whole whiteboard full of more ideas for that series, as well as some videos just sort of talking about biology of different Pokemon types, which I think is really interesting. And like I mentioned, we're going to be doing a Let's Play, the first Let's Play on this channel, of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX when it comes out in March, as well as a couple of videos sort of surrounding that about Mystery Dungeon. I also have a couple of collaborations in the works, which I think could be very exciting. We'll see how those pan out, but I have a lot of high hopes for them. So keep an eye out for those, probably coming sometime around mid-year. Also, I'm going to be making a couple non-Pokemon related videos just about the nature of science in general and what it's like to be an actual practicing scientist. Because right now I'm currently in graduate school, and it's different than I thought it would be. Not in a good way or a bad way, just a way that's different and that definitely keeps me on my toes. So I'm going to be making a video probably more toward the end of this semester, probably around May-ish, about what graduate school is really like, particularly in the sciences. Because that's just what I know, that's my area of expertise, and what I'm most familiar with. So keep an eye out for that as well if you've ever thought about going into the sciences as a profession. Question number 5 is, why did you start this channel? And there are a couple of reasons. So the first is, and most, is that I actually have another channel that I don't upload to anymore, really, called Cool Trainer Gavin, which I started back in 2016, late 2016. At that point, I had just moved to a new school. I went from going to a community college, only about 15 minutes away from home, to a 4-year school about 2 hours from home where I was living on campus, and I knew absolutely nobody. So I started that channel just to give myself a hobby, and I didn't really think that I would keep it going all that long. And originally it was Shady Penguin, actually, who just in some random video, he was talking about how at one point he was in like this really like lonely, really low spot in his life, and how being a content creator made him feel so good during that. And I'm like, I could use a little bit of that right now. So I decided to launch that channel. And after doing that for about, by this point, over 3 years, but when I started Pallet University, about 2 years, and just hadn't seen sort of I wasn't into it anymore, really. And I decided that my talents and my particular knowledge base would be better suited to like a theory/science-based Pokemon channel as opposed to a Let's Play channel. So I decided to cut back production on that channel to the point where I don't upload on it anymore, and sort of focus much more on this channel instead. Question number 6 is, name a channel that's about the similar size as you, who you think your viewers would enjoy. And honestly, that's a little bit tough, being that we're only kicking around about 100 subscribers right now. So there's not too many that are smaller than me, but I'll just say general small PokeTubers that are not big name brands, such as Birdkeeper Toby or Shady Penguin. So the first person I'd like to sort of give a shout out to is Umbreon Libris. We actually had a Discord chat the other day. He reached out to me and asked if my particular knowledge base would be helpful to a video he was working on. I said not, particularly, but it's sort of in the wheelhouse of what I do. I'm not going to give any specifics. You'll have to go check out his channel if you want to know more about what he was particularly working on. But we had a really just enjoyable Discord chat where we talked about just various Pokemon things. We talked about Detective Pikachu for a little bit. We talked about just different things like the continuity things between the anime and the games versus just a lot of different Pokemon related topics. It was very, very enjoyable. If you've never heard of him, his link will be down in the description, as well as all of these people I'm going to be talking about. Their links will be down in the description as well. Definitely give Umbreon Libris a check. The next person would be Prima Diva. So she actually reached out to me sort of on Twitter. Twitter's a great place, by the way. Like, I never used to be super active on Twitter, but since I started discovering other content creators, I've been on it a lot more, and I really like it a lot. It can be really awful at times, but I really enjoy it. And so I think she reached out to me originally, and because she is interested in doing some sort of Pokemon biology type videos as well, even though mostly what she does is Let's Plays, and I believe she's doing a bit of shiny hunting right now as well. But we have a collaboration in the works when I get around to it. My schedule's very hectic right now. But that's something that you should look forward to in the future, so please give Prima Diva a look as well. And of course, someone that I've talked about a lot on this channel, who's seen a wonderful amount of subscriber growth relatively recently, which is Brett Mew XYZ. Brett was one of the first people that I sort of connected with via this channel as opposed to Cool Trainer Gavin. I have different friends through that channel as I do through this channel, but they were just super welcoming. We talked about doing a collaboration that just kind of never ended up getting off the ground. Maybe eventually we can get back to that. I haven't actually talked to them about it in quite a while, so if you see this, Brett, if you're still interested in doing that one collaboration that we just offhandedly mentioned like a year ago at this point, let me know. And lastly, question 7, which is tag 3 people. So it's not really a question as much as a command. Anyway, tag 3 people to make this video to tell their viewer base more about them. So the first would be someone who's been a massive supporter of just me in general on both this channel as well as the Cool Trainer Gavin Let's Play channel, which is PC Bloodmaster, Nick. He has been a really big supporter of both channels for a long time. He's been one of my first friends that I made through YouTube. So definitely check out his channel. He makes a lot of really fun content. Particularly lately with Sword and Shield, I've been really enjoying that. So tag Nick, you're it. Person number 2 will be Prima Diva. She watches a lot of my videos anyway, so hopefully you see this and know that you get tagged. I don't know. I'd really like to know some of your thoughts on some of these questions as well, just like everyone else that I'm tagging in this video. And the last person I would like to tag is somebody that I only very tangentially know, and who hasn't made a video, it looks like, in about 9 months. But they've been talking on Twitter that they want to get back into it, so hopefully this will give them a little nudge to get back into it, because literally as I'm looking right now, they're sitting at 999 subscribers. So please go subscribe to them, and that person is Derek Triforce. Their link will be down in the description just to get him to 1,000 subscribers, because I think that'd be kind of neat, and I think he definitely deserves it. His videos are very, very fun, very, very informative, and really, in my opinion, somewhat unique in the Pokemon community. No one else is making really super similar content. It's not like he's just like cookie cuttering someone else's content, which is something that quite a few other PokeTubers that I know do, some of the bigger ones, unfortunately. But anyway, so please let me know down below, who do you think I should reach out to and tag them as well? Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know some of your answers to these questions down in the comments below as well. So I guess with that, I'd like to welcome you one more time to Pallet University's 2020 academic year. Hopefully you learn a lot from this channel about paleontology and biology in general, and science in general from this channel. That's really my goal. I don't like to say that I'm a PokeTuber. I think of myself more as a science YouTuber who uses Pokemon as a proxy for teaching people about science in a fun, digestible way. So hopefully you get something out of this channel, and hopefully we can get some things going with some other content creators as well. And I really want to see the Pokemon community grow and become more collaborative. Because like Toby said in his Wants to Battle tag, Pokemon YouTube community isn't a competitive community. It should be a collaborative community. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Pallet_U to keep up on all things Pokemon science. We also have a Patreon if you feel like this content is worthy of it, the link to which will be down in the description. And as always, there's a time and place for everything.